Yeah, Erika delivering a powerful address as she spoke, as you said, from the studio where her husband did his show, stood right next to his desk with his podcast mic as well. She vowed to continue Kirk's work, saying that she was going to refuse to let this movement die, that it wouldn't die. And as we heard there, she said, "You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry." Well, like most things here in the US, reaction to it has been quite split among ideological lines. We've got numerous different things coming from both sides. Supporters calling it an emotional, moving and somber video. Detractors saying it felt inauthentic and calculated. The rhetoric really now in the US is so ramped up, and it does feel like a turning point, and that word has been used a lot over the course of the last couple of days because, of course, that was the name of the movement that Charlie Kirk was the leader of. Now, one thing which has raised concern with the left side of the political spectrum that I'm seeing in the comment section of those videos has been Erika Kirk's repeated use of the plural form there in that address, despite the FBI believing that the gunman acted alone. We heard it there in that clip. You know, she said they numerous times, those fearmongers. She said that has led to many people asking who the they in that address is, who Erika Kirk is referring to, with some believing it could be a dog whistle, which could further increase national temperature. And that, at the moment, is what a lot of people in the centre are calling to tone down because, of course, the rhetoric is just getting more and more amped up over the course of the last couple of days.
You're right. For everybody listening, clearly it's going to be open to individual interpretation. And as you say, that criticism of the left using that word of what they had done to us, that we only know of one alleged involvement, one person so far. However, I'm listening to friends of Charlie Kirk in their tribute to him saying that go back months, he'd been facing death threats, numerous death threats, they say. And also it's probably worth talking about the wider sense of something unique to the US in political violence. I think I'm right in saying, Fraser, in Congress, there's something like 9,000 reports recently on both sides, Liberals and Republicans too, of threats or perceived threats to harm being done to politicians.
Yeah, and that really is only been getting worse over the course of the last 48 or so hours. Multiple lawmakers have received threats over the last couple of days. Some of them have led to them cancelling events, such as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, one of the most famous Congress people here in the United States. She also was somebody who was frequently a subject of Charlie Kirk's show as well. She cancelled a rally in North Carolina, citing security concerns. Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who also has been very outspoken in the last couple of months, but has been, saying a lot of things in the last couple of days, especially. She cancelled all forthcoming public events because of security concerns. There was a bomb threat made to the Democratic National Committee headquarters here in D.C. just 2 days ago. That was ultimately found out to be a hoax, according to the U.S. Capitol Police. There's been a slew of bomb threats, though, to black Democratic leaders across the country and black majority universities as well, something that House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has called a potential act of domestic terrorism. So again, the rhetoric really amped up here in the US. And there's also been Democratic lawmaker Seth Moulton as well. He's claimed that his office has received a slew of violent and graphic threats after he called for President Trump to join other Republicans in condemning political violence and not further inciting it. Well, he shared some of those disturbing voicemails and messages that were directed at him, his family and his staff online. And it does make for harrowing listening. But again, it just further speaks to the very strained political situation we are at here in the United States, those tensions rising and voices in the middle and voices from both sides calling for calm. But of course, it is a very polarized society, and the extremes of the left and the extremes of the right are trying to ratchet that temperature up.
And in the 24 hours since you and I last spoke, which was just after the development of the suspect being arrested or handing himself in, being detained and questioned, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Bring us up to date, Fraser, with the investigation. What more is known about the alleged assassin?
So far, we still don't have much confirmed. We know that, according to sources, Tyler is in police custody. We are told that he was speaking to law enforcement after he was arrested late on Thursday evening, but has since lawyered up and is no longer talking to law enforcement. We've heard from the governor of Utah, who spoke to CNN late on Friday evening. He was asked whether he would seek the death penalty, as Donald Trump has said that he was going to be looking for, and Governor Kirk said that so far that is on the table, but they are looking at all options. They're also looking into what charges he is going to be charged with formally. That's expected to happen on Tuesday. He's going to be arraigned in court then. That will be happening virtually, likely because of security concerns for Tyler Robinson. But those charges are expected to include aggravated murder and others as well, including the discharging of a firearm. So the penalty for that, if he is indeed charged and convicted, is still to be determined. But like I said, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, saying that he's going to be seeking the